Hey, this Attaboy 4Z. So today we got another video. We're looking at the Yamaha K-1020 3-head cassette deck. According to information, these were produced from 1985 to 86. It does have Dbx HX Pro. And we can see some of the controls there. You have your bias test, MPX filter, Dolby BC, and Dbx. And you have your fine bias adjustment. And then you have your auto modes. There's a look at the controls. The sliding master fader. Also, you have output level, which I do like that. And then you can see the display there. It does not have peak hold, but that's okay. Auto tape sensing. I have a type 2 tape in there at the moment. Let's see if we can get a good look at the heads. It's a pretty clean tape path. So you can see there, it's running. As soon as you hit play, the dual cap stands are running. Okay, let's go to the inside. There's your power supply. I did go ahead and recap the power supply with some Nichicon PWHE capacitors. There's a few of the original capacitors I left because I did not have those on hand at the moment, but I will address those whenever I get those capacitors in. This is a deck I plan on keeping, not getting rid of. That's why I went ahead and recapped the power supply, and that way I know all those capacitors are good. It came with Nichicon Muse from the factory, and let's see if I can find some of the older Muse capacitors. The color is not as green as the new ones, but there's the Muse from factory. So I just replaced them with some some new Nichicon Muse capacitors. Also for the we have the HX Pro section. They had those blue Matsushita Panasonic caps, which are known to leak and fail, and I went ahead and put some fine golds in there. There's two or more right here, and this is part of the BIOS circuit record, and I will replace those. There's two more there, and that is part of the BIOS test circuit. And then there's a few more Matsushita caps in there. I don't have those on hand. I will be replacing those. The Dolby circuit had several of the blue Panasonic, those Matsushita caps, and a couple of them were starting to leak, so I went ahead and replaced those. I had some Nichicon audio grade capacitors. Also, I replaced a few. I had some WEMA caps on hand, so the small 0.1 value caps, I replaced those with WEMA caps. Let's flip it around here to the transport. As you can see, the belt, the cap stand's running. The cam motor, I did service the cam motor. I completely removed that and cleaned the brushes, and of course, just like a lot of these cam motors on these Sanyo motors, there's a lot of black crud buildup. So I got some alcohol and polished it real good on low speed with my Dremel tool. I saw, I'm not sure if it was Trevor's Bench who did that. I cleaned those leaf switches there with some D5, and everything's quiet, it's running well. When you're working in this unit, be careful, because there's your, you know, Yamaha put just this little cover over your voltage. That's where your voltage coming from. So it's right there. So if you have this thing powered on, be careful so it doesn't bite you. But yeah, Dbx circuits, Dolby circuits, and these boards, it's really good how they made these, because you just remove this little black holder, and all four of these boards just lift out, and to service all of those. Now these Nichicon Muse, you probably noticed they're much bigger than the originals. I didn't have 50 volts on hand. I went ahead and put 100 volts in there. So, but I wanted to keep the Muse caps back in there like it came from the factory. And then there's your circuit board for your meter display. And this board, this deck is fairly easy to work on. It's got lots of connectors that, you know, just come apart, where you can easily remove the transport. Same thing with this power supply board. You can remove the board completely to work on it, or you can just remove the underside of the underside covering of the deck if you want to just desolder the caps and replace new caps. But this is a great sounding deck. I heard a lot of good reviews on it, said how good it sounded, and is definitely a competitor to Nakamichi you know, decks, some of the best Nakamichi decks. I have several Yamaha decks. I have a KX930 there, and we'll go over here. And over here, this one's not in use at the moment. You have a K600, and then there is my Nakamichi RX202, and then I have a JVC KDV6, which is an excellent deck for recording and playback. I think I did a little video on that one. That one's sounds very good. Sounds very good. All these decks, I've serviced them myself, and they're good sounding decks. But yeah, that was just a little short video on the Yamaha K-1020, and this was a Goodwill find. So if you're out there, you know, get out and go to Goodwill, thrift stores, estate sales, you'll find this stuff. And so I'll tell you the problem that I had with this one. When I got it, everything powered up fine, cap stands it was running. It would play, but it wouldn't fast forward or rewind. And so idler tire, ES Labs, I think it's EL Labs online sells idler tire. They're a little pricey now, but they will send you the tire and the little retaining washer. $30 ship. Like, yeah, it's a little pricey, but you know, I've heard that they have very good idler tires, and two belts on there were still in great shape. This deck had been serviced at some point. There was a sticker on it from its service in 2008. Also, the little sensors on the back of your reels, you know, you have the black and silver color on it. Make sure those are clean, because if that was the other issue, the right hub, the wheel, it's not sensors, but it's I guess they call it photo reflective or whatever, where the sensor picks up the speed of the or the motion of the hub. It had some black stuff all over it, and so it caused playback issues at times. So I cleaned that up real good, and now it's working just fine. This will be replacing my KX930, which is no slouch. You know, I love it because it has remote control capabilities, but it doesn't have DBX. But it's gonna replace the 930. Anyway, I don't want to keep this video too long. Thanks for watching. If you got any comments or any suggestions on these decks, any modifications, suggestions, please leave a comment down below, and thanks for watching.